There is no power in that name, Jesus. If you doubt it, ask your pastor bodyguard. He will tell you more. Because not only them understand how the pastor they tell them, they should be extra careful. Even when they come, they tap out.
I don't believe in God. There is no God.
Why would you say there's no God? What are the proof? What are the evidence? Because now what science uses mostly is hypothesis, proof, and evidence. So,
wait, I'm sorry. I should prove why
there is God. If I see that there is God, he or she or it, we have to beg for my forgiveness, and I will still not forgive them because they are just they're failure. Look at what they created. You see, it's just a bullshit. They need to start from scratch. It's just like they don't know what they
you have
doing.
claimed to be God yourself. What have you created?
I can create a child if I want.
You can. What have you done?
I'm a farmer. I've created so many food for the oil that you drink. I produced it. I'm a producer. I use. You see, if you use oil without.
These are some of the things that people have recently been talking about. People are fed up about religion, especially Christianity. I know Christianity can easily be attacked because it's a peaceful way of life, a peaceful religion. And people are fed up probably because they have been lied to, and so many things are happening. Many people are manipulating the system for their selfish interests. So you see people coming out to denounce and denying the fact that there is God, and denying that Christ actually came into this world and the Bible is from God himself. And you see people saying that Christianity is a white man's religion and the Bible is a colonial tool to colonize Africa. The Europeans used the Bible as a manipulative tool to deceive Africans. Now, these are some of the things that people talk about, that if there is really God, why are there people like poverty is increasing, especially in Nigeria, and corruption, poverty, violence, suffering, and all kinds of things that are happening around us. And they conclude, they say, maybe there is no God. Maybe there is no God. These are serious questions and concerns that we should consider. We need to consider them. But perhaps we have been asking the wrong questions. We have not been channeling our attention or our abilities towards the right direction. Now, before you blame God for the condition of the society and the deteriorating lifestyle of people in the society, I want you to answer one question. Who is responsible for the choices of humanity? The choices that people make, that human beings are making and have made. Who is responsible for making such decisions and choices? Now look at it. When we reject God's government, we violate his values, we deviate from his principles, and make our own decisions. Why do we turn around to blame God for the consequences? And you see that this is not new. This is not new to human history. If you go back to history of man, in Genesis, you will discover that the idea of blaming God when the consequences of violating God's principles is now tormenting and man is now facing such consequences, it's not new that humanity has been blaming God for their actions. Now, it all started in the Garden of Eden. Remember, Genesis chapter 3 records the fall of man when sin entered the world. And God gave man instruction, a simple instruction, not to touch or eat the fruit that was termed the forbidden fruit. And humanity violated that instruction. But there were consequences. There were consequences that God had outlined that will happen. And when that consequence came, Adam blamed his wife. The situation is dramatic. Now, when God asked Adam, Adam, have you eaten the fruit? Adam that was rejoicing when God brought Eve to him. Remember, God told Adam to name the animals. And when Adam finished naming the animals, he could not see anyone that was compatible, that was fitting to his own nature as a human being. And so God recognized that man was lonely. And man needs, say it is not good for man to be alone. In fact, that was the only thing that God created. He identified that it's not good of all the things he created. That the loneliness of man is not good. And God saw it fit to create the woman. Someone who is compatible. And that is why when God brought Eve to Adam, Adam says, this is it. This is the person I'm looking for. This is what I've been looking for. He said, that is it. Exactly. Because ape was not compatible. Monkeys were not compatible. Chimpanzees were not compatible. Remember, people say man originated or evolved from the apes. But here, these animals were not compatible. And God created man. That is why when he says, I will make him a helpmeet. That helpmeet means someone suitable, someone fitting and compatible to him. And so when Adam saw Eve, he exclaimed, this is it. He said, she shall be called woman. She is the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh. Then a few moments later, when man failed in his responsibility, he now told God, he said, God, I did my own, no? Now you carry woman, come give me. He said, not be the woman where you give me, now make me fall. So Adam was telling God, say, if not be say you can't give me woman, I for not chop, I for not fall now. So you see, Eve turned around to blame the serpent. And at the end of the day, nobody took responsibility. Adam did not say, I have sinned. Adam did not say, I have sinned. He only simply shifted the blame on the woman and shifted the blame on God too. So the idea of shifting blame as a result of human failure, and when the consequences are now overwhelming to man, man has always been shifting blame to God. Now, today, people are coming to say, if there is God, look at Nigeria. Why are there hungry, corruption, kidnappings, stealing, killing, families are breaking apart, and so many things? Now, another question I want to ask is that, who is responsible for kidnapping? Is it God? Who is responsible for corruption? Is it God? Who is responsible for committing adultery? Is it God? Who is responsible for murdering people? Is it God? Who is responsible for exploiting the poor? You see people, these importers, some importers in Nigeria, they will import goods, and because of the recklessness of our government, they allow people to put price tag on their goods the way they want. Who is responsible for exploiting the poor? Who is responsible for fake drugs? People sell fake drugs and cause liver failures, kidney failures, cancers all over the place. Who is responsible for them? Who is responsible for cheating people? And who is responsible for all the choices, evil choices that are destroying our societies? Who is it God? Is it God? Why do you turn around to blame the moral governor for the choices that man is making? Yes, man is free. Man has moral freedom. Man has moral freedom. But man is not free to choose his consequences. Yes, you can make your choice. You can do whatever you want. But man does not have the liberty, the freedom to determine what the consequence is. Now, think about it. God did not create man like to be like a goat. Or like cow. You know, these cow rearers, wherever they want the cow to be, that is where the cow will be. But human beings are not like that. Human beings make their choices. You choose. For example, in the garden, God says, this is what will happen. This is, when you obey me, this is what will happen. When you disobey me, this is what will happen. Choose what you want to do. Now, when you choose to disobey God, and you don't have the power to determine the consequences, why are you coming to blame God? God make laws, but he has not forced anybody to obey it. And that is why for the meantime, you can do whatsoever you want. In Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 19, the Moralgovernor through Moses says, I present to you life and death. I present to you life and death. He said choose. But whatever you choose, there are consequences for it. You don't have the power to determine what the consequence is. And I think that is where many of us are getting it wrong. Because we are now facing the consequences of human actions, human choices. We are facing the consequences. When you look around us today, people decide to do whatever they want. And at the end of the day, when the consequences begin to manifest, to torment, and to destroy society,